allow the children to have the budget every year.
It's okay. Off your mind. It's okay.
She
Off your mind.
Chai! Now wow, people wey suppose talk truth to power don't off mic. And if we talk, now 500,000 they go summer us, call them hate speech. But fear not, my ego don't come. Him go torchlight every corner, nooks and cranny of all these bad people where they spoil our country. So my people make we laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not the off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Can in the touchlight every corner, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Okay, some people be they holla say they want the power. Chai, them be promise us say we go get light and power. Nah. Them hustle sote they can't get the power. But now they know they do anything with the power. Sure. Every day, dollar just they get the higher power over Naira. Still them talk say make we off mind. But thank God say my ego don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My people make we shout, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, man of the masses, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. My ego diary politico, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. This one not they off in mind, oh yo yo. My ego don't come, oh yo yo. Person where they do evil, no one make person talk. Them say that my yegun, that man too they talk. He too they talk. Say my yegun diary, he they hot like pepper. But every day then they take money in bulk. Woman picking they the street they hawk. Still them talk say make we no talk. But thank God say my yegun don't come. So my people make you laugh, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. My people make you shout, oh yo yo. My yegun don't come, oh yo yo. Man of the masses, yeah, yeah. My ego don't come, oh, yeah, yeah. My ego diary politico. My ego la wamo, la mo do 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 do. My ego diary, Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làwọn tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ará ìlú. Mayegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube. Mayegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí. Mayegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí. Mayegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o. Mayegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Mayegun diary politico. Mayegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun. Mayegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu o. Mayegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò. Mayegun diary náà ibi nọ́mbà wán. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé. Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí Facebook. Mayegun ti dé. Àní ẹ̀sùn ra kì í. Mayegun ti dé. Lórí YouTube. Mayegun ti dé. sọ́ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Máyégún máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀ sọ́ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Máyégún máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀ sọ́ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Máyégún máa bí.
Àní ẹ̀ sọ́ra jù.
Máyégún ti dé.
Hello there. Good morning to you. Good afternoon to you. And good evening to you from wherever you are joining us. This is Máyégún live. For those of you watching live on the hour, thank you so much for joining me again, brethren, in the temple of truth. And if this is your own first time on Máyégún's Diary Political, there are four steps on this platform before you settle down to enjoy what is the update tonight. The first thing is to read the caption of the broadcast, and you have to read beyond that. Read the description of the broadcast as well. Then like it, like a temple. You have an offering time, and you have to give that before you also settle down, which is like the broadcast. Share it as well to invite your friends and your not so friendly friends that Máyégún is live. Make them to come put mouth, kowagbenusi. Sort of. And if you have done all of that, thank you. Again, welcome to Máyégún's Diary Political, the Temple of Truth, tonight. And the man that has now become almost the nightmare of the Tinubu and his gang. You know, in Nigeria, right, the way the system works, election is pretty much just like a ritual. Let's just do it to make it look like we are democratic, or we are democratic and the people actually have choice, but even though people know they don't. And even themselves, the people themselves are pretty much like enablers in bed with their own oppressors in participating in that 4-year or every 4-year ritual called election. Some people will fight for political space in the ruling party. When they can't, they go to the next opposition party. If they can't, they go to the next one. And that's how they go on and on until the election is over. And within space of 6 months, a year, you begin to see those who you thought were political enemies a year ago during their charade election or electoral process. You know, the system is so corrupt enough that the ruling party in that contraption would also hire the people to occupy all other political parties in the country, especially the smaller parties. So they are there to hold forth for them in order to help them perpetuate their usual every 4-year rigging. Then something happened in 2022 when, after the disastrous 8 years of Buhari, a lot of people tend to probably have forgiven PDP, but on one condition. That condition would be if PDP would field a man that has attracted so many young people into, you know, politics, political process. That is a Peter Obi. Except you use Peter Obi, then your sins are not really forgiven. So this condition, of course, was rejected by PDP, which drove them to another smaller party, opposition, the Labour Party. Now, I'm talking about the obedient movement and how they unraveled, how the system created, the rebellious generation who still somehow believes that they have what it takes, they have the number to upstage the establishment and install good leadership, as they claim, a good leadership that will likely help them have a better, brighter, safe future. Unfortunately, the system still managed to shortchange them in a movement that normally, like I said, few months after the elections, everybody just goes back to the status quo. It is a winner takes it all sort of a system whereby the people that pretended to be opposition to the ruling party, they are really not an opposition to them. They're just part of the controlled opposition in that place. So Tinubu and his gang, they are from this school of thought, okay, where they believe that it's a matter of time the world scatter and then, until the next time. That seems to be the mistake of the establishment. When I say establishment, a lot of you will agree with me that there is no difference between the PDP and APC. Even though some people would say, no, there are a lot of differences. PDP was better than this APC. But when we say there is no difference, you will realize that the same PDP had the opportunity of, building a better country where everyone actually would have their own rights. Like, make you feel like you are a citizen of the country. Today, the failure of PDP that brought in this APC, which in itself is also pretty much like orchestrated by the PDP, the birth of APC. So, and when you now look at those who are now the leaders of this APC, you realize that many of them were also PDP. Yeah, in their prime, either as governor or as ministers or as a special advisor, this and that. So they've kind of like blended together because it is not really about ideology. It is not, their politics is not about ideology, it's just about interest. And they say it all the time. They say Nigeria politics is not, they don't have permanent enemies, they don't have permanent friends, just permanent interest, their own personal selfish interest. Here is the difference. After the 2023 charade, the obedient, who actually were so strong enough to upset the entire system, they shook them, that somehow they told themselves, I'm talking about these rogues in PDP and APC, put them that way, right? They told themselves that must never happen again. We must make sure that it never, ever happens again. And they are doing everything right now to make sure that it never happens again, to the point where they had to shut down their own server during an election, which has created an illegitimate government. Today, Tinubu happened to be probably the most despised president you've ever had. This is reality now, right? Tinubu is one of the most unpopular person to have been propped up as your leader in that contraption, right? Is the most despised, the most unpopular. And there are many factors to this because Tinubu and his gang, they represent division, they represent poverty, they represent retrogression, they represent hatred. And that is something that, as much as Nigeria and Nigerians are more divided than ever, courtesy of these guys, right? The only group of people who have remained almost together, still very much stronger, right? The only group that they seems to have also misjudged until this whole exposure of the entire system, they are the obedience. There is no single day people don't talk about Peter Obi. And guess those who are pretty much talking about him, not the obedient, but Tinubu and his illegitimate regime. It has gotten to a stage of obsession. Sometimes you just be like, did this guy actually really think about anything else as government in control, in power, other than just this Obi or Igbo, this Igbo that? So it tells you a lot of how much they dread that's your movement. And a lot of people have probably taken a dig at you. It is because, as they say, people always, right, hate what they can't control or what they didn't create, so to say, in this kind of a political journey. So that means the only group of people who are at least proven to be genuinely against the corrupt, system that you have in that contraption and still want one Nigeria, they are the obedient. And that makes them the most dangerous group of people to the establishment. Don't ever forget that. The reason why they will spend so much time in spreading hatred, division, tribalism, religious this and that is simply because that's the only thing they can do. As much as others will say the obedient themselves are deluded, Nigeria can be rescued, or there is no way you want to rescue this contraption without mingling with the same set of people who brought Nigeria to our knees like this, now kind of congregating as your saviors, coalition this, coalition that. But the important thing here is this, that you are free to disagree, but the important thing here is that it seems that there is no real coalition that can take place in that contraption in the whole talks in town right now that will have credibility without the inclusion of disobedience. And why am I saying all of this right now? Saying this because their leader, Peter Obi, right? The man that everyone believes is the reason why Nigeria is still pretty much together right now. And I'll tell you why they say that. Because some people believe that if not because of Peter Obi's personality, normal, right? After the NSAS massacre, orchestrated and perpetuated by this murderous APC, and then the entire rigging of the election, plus the judiciary, this and that, all of this, they are enough to have actually shut down that contraption, forced the hand of Tinubu, possibly the hands of other rogues to have fled Nigeria. But somehow, they believed, they were waiting for this Peter Obi to give them the go-ahead, which he would never, right? Complex, complicated, right? So now, these people are saying to themselves that they are going to participate in an election where Tinubu, with all the power of the power of state, compromised institutions behind him, that this is going to be unriggable election or something. And then people were asking, what will happen when you now get rigged again? Well, usual, heaven will break or not. So Peter Obi, who has become the nightmare of those who are working for Tinubu, that they can't even have a decent interview to tell the world or to tell Nigerians what exactly they are doing and how they are trying to help you out of this economic doldrum. Rather, they will spend much of their time telling you about Obi couldn't do anything different, or Obi is, he didn't have any legacy, this or that. So today, they were having Emeka Ihedioha, another PDP guy, who is having his 60th birthday. Okay, so at that birthday, where other, the ruiners of Nigeria and the rest of they were all there in their own capacity, even though they might not be the actual current ruiners, but they are also players in that league. And then that was where Obi reminded the rest of them that democracy has collapsed in Nigeria. It's, you have the president of a country impeaching an elected governor of a state, and then looking for which part of the law he could use to protect that illegal decision. People can't really speak their mind before they get tracked down and locked up. Journalists are spending months and years in jail right now under this APC. And without a real constitution, without a real, probably electoral reform, right? Going into an election with Tinubu is a pure waste of time, waste of life, and waste of resources. And when that is now the reality of this contraption, then you should stop pretending that you still have a democracy. In his own presentation, by the way. Something that, the day before, Omoyele Sowore was also talking about these missed opportunities. However, he won't join their coalition for the obvious reason, right? So, Peter Obi.
Well, if you look at what Bishop Kukah said, he says the work in progress. Let me follow my brother when he said about 1999. If you look at where we are today, it's like they started in 1999, laid the foundation. Some people came and took it to decking, and some people were trying to raise it to first floor, and some people came and knocked everything down. That's the situation where we are now. Everything has been knocked down. Nothing works. And I'm somebody who can say this exemplary. I became a governor through the court when President Obasanjo and Atiku were governor. I did not pay the court 1 naira. I was sitting in my house in the office, and the court declared me winner. When a governor is not student, it can't happen in Nigeria today. When I was being impeached, the president sent people to come and intervene on my behalf. Ken Namani came begging House people not to impeach me. Today, the president impeaches the president. So that is the thing that is correct. They were begging my house not to impeach me. And they were PDP. I was in Africa. And they were begging. President was calling me and said, Peter, are you okay? Even when I was impeached, President Obasanjo called me and said, are you okay? Are you safe? When I go back from the court, when court eventually declared me under Nduba, President Yar'Adua called my phone in London and said, congrats. I said, President, I can't come back because, if I come back, these people, he said, tell me the flight in which you're coming back. And I told him, when I came in the first time, military people came to receive me at the airport. I couldn't believe it. I took me straight to him. Now the president will ask me not to come back here again. So it's fair. Let's not talk about it. Let's talk about how we are going to do it. It's the last.
I'm glad that my last respondent said yes and no. So,
well, I would say to China is not democratic.
it isn't.
And I'm not going to compare ourselves with Singapore. It's a country of less than 5 million people. But I'll compare ourselves with Indonesia. Indonesia is 280 million. And coincidentally, India, country with the highest number of Muslims. We should look at their democracy. They have what we call proportional representative. That is what I've always championed and want to do. You cannot have, let me even go back, no country in the past 3 years conducted elections have less than 30% of registered voters participate in the election, and they held it. Everyone was go and check from South Africa to Mexico to Indonesia. They were not less than 60%. Nigeria was 23% of registered voters. In that 23%, Nigeria is the only country where you can be declared a winner without receiving 50% plus one of the votes. Our own was at 7%. And there's no proportional representation, which is why you can have opposition here. Because if you had that, what you said wouldn't have happened. Because the person there now has 7% of the vote, call it 40. In the Senate, would have had 44 members. PDP, with their leader, would have had about 34 members, and Labour would have had 24. In fact, we should have actually formed government. You cannot have a minority person sitting in government with everything, chasing everybody out, destroying everything. We must change it and have proportional representation so that the people want to listen. That's how it works. And when we do that, go and see it in Indonesia. In Indonesia, the president's party is not the leading party in the parliament, but they have proportional representation, which brings proper checks and balances. Like he said, it's the operators That is why I said it's failing. Is argument show that it's failing? Because the operators now have failed it. That is when we go back, it is failing. Well,
to me, it's like, okay, who is going to do it? Is that not what we have been preaching by telling everyone that if all of us agreed to be one country, so all of these conditions, these terms and agreements, they would have been sorted out where all of us would have agreed the type of government that we want, how the wealth of the land should be distributed and accessed. How do we want to protect ourselves? It varies, right? It varies. Or no, some overfed miscreants, overfed pigs, somewhere believes that they could actually make this contraption work when there was nowhere all of us agreed to be the same country. We didn't. And it's not that we can't have, see, that's what we're saying, that, listen, there's no point in going back to colonial this and that anymore. At this point, you have practiced this one Nigeria under parliamentary system, which means if you are able to win enough representation, the seat in the parliament, that means the spread of how many seats you are able to win will determine if you are going to form a government. Abi? So that got truncated. And they introduced military decrees since 1966 up to this moment. Even the 1999 Constitution is a decree, military decree. The people did not have any single input in that fake constitution. The people did not vote to approve that fake constitution. That constitution does not represent anybody, any tribe, any ethnic nationality, any religion. Everything in there is imposed. Everything in there. And that's why they are telling you that you are practicing federal system of government, when what you are actually practicing is unitary system of government with a very strong center. And all others who are supposed to be the federating units, the states, they are just mere shops set up by this fake constitution, because the shops can be shut down anytime, whether the people want it or they don't want it. So that's what Peter Obi is pushing. So you do not have any democracy in that contraption. And you should not be talking about elections. No, you should actually be talking about the coexistence of this contraption and the type of government that is governing you. That's what you should be talking about. That's why on our own side, when conversation gets to that stage, right, a lot of us and our groups will publicly campaign not for a united constitution, blah, blah, blah. We're actually going to use the opportunity to campaign for a complete breakup of the contraption in peace. Like, if people can't live together, if you can't agree to be together, we can peacefully just be apart. And the majority, yeah, you don't have to start masturbating in public, all right? You don't need to start wanking in public, okay? That is what a democracy is. Those of you who want one Nigeria, you will also support one Nigeria. Those of us who don't want Nigeria anymore, we will also have our own say. You will have your own say. And if we are in the majority, yeah, you have your own say, while we have our way. And same thing to you too. If those of you who want one Nigeria are more than those who don't, that is democracy. There's no point in hating yourselves. There's no point in trying to, outdo yourselves with, different kind of bigotry. No. There's no need for all of that. But there will be an established fact that we agreed to remain together. And that remaining together under what arrangements that we all agreed. And once all these agreements, once they are like respected, then we can coexist and stay together. But now, in that contraption, they cannot even conduct their own election right now. They can't. You know, the citizens have been so bullied, so oppressed right now that you can feel the fear in them at every given opportunity when they are to possibly express themselves. It seems to have been one, achievement of the APC. Ekbekekbe, traumatize your own citizens so much that they dare not even come out to exercise their rights under that same democratic setting. Because right now, you do not have any democracy. How does Showore say it? Controversial Showore, his own view on all of this. It's called missed opportunities.
Let me still stick with you. Because speaking of the unfair hands that the Nigerian public is being dealt with, let's talk about movements. Movements like NSAS and the Obedient Wave showed public hunger for change. But why did this effort struggle to translate into lasting political power? Is it that the country is not ready for such a transformation? Or will it take generations to dismantle this entrenched system?
You see, when you are organizing for power, you cannot organize for power by doing what those people in power are doing. You cannot organize for power by presenting an alternative that is not substantial, that's just, without substance, that is superficial. NSAS was great, it was powerful response, but NSAS had a problem. It was not organized around people who understood how to fight and fight to the end. So those of us who started NSAS were shunted aside because, of course, I was at that time in Abuja, restricted to Abuja. And then others who were declaring victory before the fight was over was what led to what NSAS did. And then what followed, which you describe as the Obedient Wave, wasn't about capturing power. It was about one political group replacing the other. And you saw the outcome. Why? Because when the opportunity came for that movement to have headbutted the system, they all folded up. Because you cannot ask a pack of lions to be led by a sheep and achieve victory. It's not possible. That is what happened with that movement. But I can tell you that a new movement is emerging, and we should be all guided, we should all join hands and ensure that this movement takes the power in the fight from online to offline, and we do it in a very sustained and sustainable way until we win. And that is happening. Young people are getting very conscious. You see a female copper last week. There's a 30 days challenge going on now. And, I like the fact that the elites are always deaf and dumb around when social movements are coalescing, because what ultimately happens is that they are caught unawares.
But when it comes to social movements, you know that NSAS ended because of the police brutality, when they were attacked with tear gas and what have you. So how far can they really go? How far can any protester really go when it comes to risking their lives?
It didn't end because there was police brutality. It was because there was no planning in place.
So you're saying if it was better plans,
that police would be brutal, that the army would have been brutal. If there was a response the day after the army attack, NSAS would have claimed.
So looking back now, what could have been done?
But the people who were leading NSAS were using NSAS for negotiation. They were using it for creating content. They were using it for personal popularity, and that's not fair.
People died.
When we had
because of this.
With them, they said, no, we don't want leadership. There is no social movement in the world that don't have leaders that have ever succeeded. They said, no, this is a leaderless movement. There's nothing like a leaderless movement.
So what do you think went wrong?
Let me just talking about.
What do you think went wrong? Today, before you finish.
Showore has mentioned.
What did you think? What do you think went wrong with NSAS?
No, I've told you what went wrong with NSAS was that
there was no leadership.
The NSAS leaders of course there was leadership, but they were lying that they don't want leaders. But they were having conversation with Tony Elumelu, Dangote on Zoom. They know themselves, and the ones that raised money were not allowing the money to reach the people who were really fighting for the fight.
Okay.
Up to today, there are over 500,000 cryptocurrency monies that disappear. The people who were involved in NSAS, who raised money for legal support, disappeared after NSAS. Up until last year, we were still getting people out of Ikoyi prison and other prisons in Lagos who were detained for NSAS. Ask yourself, where is feminist.co that raised all the money and said that, oh, you know, we are in charge now, we don't want anybody else. The moment it happened, what happened to them? Why did they pack up? That is not how social movements are organized. So that's why I'm telling you that they knew what they did, and one day the truth will come out. But beyond that, the moment they were done with NSAS, they went and used NSAS progress or NSAS gains into a political movement that took them nowhere. And it was because of greed or naivety or inexperience. Or, I don't know what it could have been, that you have an NSAS movement, it had that great opportunity, and you went and chose for the movement a person to gain from the movement who was part of SARS when he was governor. What kind of counterintuitiveness intuitiveness is that? It was just counter-revolutionary positioning that ended NSAS tragically. But that story will be told at another time, but we know what happened.
So let's have
people who did it knew themselves.
Okay. Chide, you were going to say something, so go ahead. Let me still stick with you. Because
in an interview that some of the obedient members have categorically called the expression of jealousy on the part of Showore, that's what they call it. They said Showore is written from the disappointment that it was Peter Obi that benefited or reaped the collective rage and anger of Nigerians, despite the fact that he, as a person, has been very, very present, has produced himself, you know, fighting for the people, so much that it was unbelievable that the same people had to go for Obi, and he continued to call it, it ended in disaster and this and that. You know, it was actually right on the part of those who used the NSAS just to build personalities for themselves, created content. They were not really interested in any real social change from what they claim to be. Not all of them, by the way. I'm just saying that there are those who took the advantage of NSAS at the time. And today they call them celebrity, even on social media. But where are they? Many of them, true story, many of them ended up on the side of the same APC today. It's unfortunate. And yeah, if you say somehow Showore has his own sort of like personal, probably displeasure against Obi and others like that, right? But he's kind of right, you know, because opportunity that presented itself at the time, majority didn't even know, including myself, that there were actual agenda within agenda. You know the whole story. And when it is an opportunity for them to actually take the establishment to the cleaners, right? That too got truncated. But everything else, I can indeed smell, you know, that's a bit of like an opposition to the obedient. And that in itself also has put to question Omoyele Showore's ambition of, just like Peter Obi, his ambition of rescuing you from a Tifnumbu. Like how reliable and how true this is when there is no, you know, any reasonable actions on the part of Showore himself that we can say, oh, this is strong enough. And, you know, it could probably surprise us. Like there is nothing like that going on. And Showore won't collaborate with anybody. So, that, like I said, that put to question like, okay, Showore believes in one Nigeria too. He wants to rescue Nigeria from the APC, PDP, and the rest of them. And maybe now he wants to rescue Nigeria from you, the obedient, because there is no any established sort of, leadership traits for somebody who wants to win people over. Like, I want to win you over to my side. And you guys are so strong about, about this guy that you believe in, but I've got something better. I could actually really do better. That kind of convincing personality. I'm so shocked that Showore doesn't have that anymore, or he doesn't really portray that anymore. Here you get. Because he's right. To him, again, he believes that, or maybe he's not. No, I wouldn't say he's right on this one, because when you look at some of the people who are also behind the 30 days rant challenge, you will discover that more than 90% of them, they are actually obedient too. Like, no matter the effect that this their 30 days rant challenge must have on the polity in the long run, you will still discover that this is also coming from the stable of disobedience. The same set of them who were also part of the NSAS, the rebellious generation that is tired, the generation that is so tired of the blame game and the finger pointing. And somehow, they are also naive in the sense that they still stylishly believe that an election can remove, a dictator like that or a tyrant like that and a compromised, a political party like this of that of the APC, so naivety. But yet they are still convinced they still have the number. So if you want to latch on that, I would expect somebody of Omoyele Showore's status, right, to possibly have seen through that this challenge or no challenge is also being conducted by disobedience. They may not call it obedience movement, but you can easily tell that more than 90% of those I have seen express themselves against this establishment. They are obedient. And they seem to also still pretty much aligning with their leader, Peter Obi, which Omoyele Sowore somehow, I wouldn't say maybe he enjoys it, like attack Obi, steer some controversies and all of that, so that this obedience that makes the chunk of those who have formed the strongest opposition to the APC, online and offline, by the way. So it doesn't have it in name, and it probably doesn't even count them as useful. I mean, that would be my own assessment. Because when you wake up every day, you wonder sometimes, and I thought that the oppositions in Nigeria should probably be together to criticize the people in government, putting everybody through all of this. So why are you attacking yourselves and trying to tear yourselves apart in this way that obviously you would never want to come together, And when you see the Showore supporters, they will tell you that Peter Obi is working for Tinubu. When you see Peter Obi supporters, the obedient, they will tell you that Showore is working for Tinubu. And somehow, right? The obedient believes that what Showore is doing is to favor Tinubu, and Showore supporters believes that in that kind of in that manner, So you're like, somehow maybe all of you are actually working for Tinubu as well. I'm just saying. So the only person who hasn't really attacked Showore or responded to him is Obi. He hasn't. And again, talking about their coalition and what have you, Showore won't be part of it. Obi won't be part of it. At least that's what we have heard so far. Since Atiku's ambition cannot be retired, Atiku is still going to run and contest against Tinubu in 2027. So last, what Kolu needs is not your vote. What Kolu needs is just your participation, so that they can give all of them participation trophy And since it is obvious that the entire system is rigged, right? So the election will be rigged as well. Result will be written, and they will tell you to go to court. So if you are going to participate in a game that is rigged against you, maybe you should start your wahala early enough by changing the rules of the game. I'm just saying, but when oppositions are not strong enough to even like sit together, share ideas together, and Shiwore won't be part of it, you know, and he wants to be president of that contraption. So it's pretty much like a participatory, a participation trophy that they call them, you know. Anyway, go on and on with that, okay? A rigged system is what produced the current governor of Edo State, Okpebholo of Edo State. Now, among the Okpebholo, right, the Odoyo governor of Edo State is one recent textbook definition of, you know, an effed up country. It states that because of a compromised system or compromised, institutions that you have in that contraption, okay? So somebody like Okpebholo of Edo State is the governor of the state, and a single state where people were not allowed to legitimately actually choose their own governor. It is the most recent textbook definition of a failed country, by the way, where the system is intentionally, deliberately sabotaged just to achieve an end, you know, sort of an end result. Today, Okpebholo is the governor of Edo, and he is holding forth. So when an opportunity presented itself in Edo State yesterday, because, you know, they did a road flag, the flag off. It's called flag off. In Nigeria, they celebrate the plan to start a road construction. They do. I think the road is called Benin Asaba Expressway. Okwari was once on that same road. 8 years, but making a pledge on behalf of the entire Edo people, Edo voters, that, yeah, you know, this may be just you know, political statements. But when if you have spent enough time around these people, then you realize that, you see, this is not just a political statement. It is actually in their book a statement of facts, because they will decide what the end result will be in an election. It's not you, the voters. You know that. Listen.
This is a legacy project. When I say Edo not be Lagos, we say no. Now Edo na Lagos. So the good things that is happening in Lagos is now happening here in Edo State. What can we say? Thank you. Say, Baba, thank you. Sir, Mr. President, we will even take our campaign to other states on his behalf. 2027 is a big deal here. It is sealed for Mr. President. It's not negotiable. 18/18. We have 18 local government. When I meet 18/18, we are going to deliver for Mr. President. I am standing here on behalf of the President to flag off this road. And I thank his initiative for the private-public partnership. But not even putting Nigerian money into this project. For private, to put their money, because when a businessman invests, we will ensure there is completion. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for our visitors, and God bless all of you. And we will enjoy this road as we flag this up today. Thank you, and God bless all of you.
The Okpebholo of Edo. You know? So they are so grateful for Tinubu coming to flag off an express road rehabilitation. It's like a road rehabilitation that is never going to be fixed. I want them to see, sometimes I want you to remember something. When we talk about these rogues, it may sound to you like, oh, you don't like them. There are those who hate them. Somebody like me don't. I mean, I don't even have a stomach for hate. I wish I kind of like really do, by the way, so that I can be somebody, you know. I don't really have that in me. But I can pretty much dislike people for a reason or for many reasons. And for this APC, Okpebholo, I am more interested in what they are doing than what they are saying. Do you understand? There are many of you who fancies what they say. We are going to tomorrow, by the end of this month, we are going to have 24 hours electricity in Guinea. I don't. I am more interested in what they do or not do. Do you understand? Because it is their actions and their inactions that actually have effects, consequences on me, on you, whether you are in there or you are out there, whether you are rich or you are poor, whether you are from the north or you are from the south. The actions and inactions of these rogues are what really affects, shapes our lives. Because they are governments, man. Economically, their policies have ruined lives, ruined businesses, ruined families, ruined relationships. Just policies of these rogues than what they say. If it's all about what they say, you probably would have an Eldorado right now in that contraption. You know? So them in Imo States, now food they send them as hunger day. Hopeless Uzodimba, hopeless Uzodinjo. The Supreme Court governor of Owerri was the one that announced to the people of Owerri, food don't land from Tifnumbu.
So I want, on behalf of Mr. President, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, whose gifts we are distributing today. I'm here as a messenger of a man I believe so much that means well for Nigeria. This is a holy period for the Christians. It represents a period of Lenten period. Those who believe in the coming and the death of Jesus Christ knows that this is the period our Lord Jesus Christ fasted, after which the three temptations came. And by the grace of God, it is also coinciding with the holy period for the Muslims, the period of Ramadan. So this interim intervention is to cushion the effect of the gap that will be created between the period of planting and the period of harvest. So I want to thank you, the religious leaders from the 11 states of Southeast and South-South, for coming to Owerri, the capital of Imo State, to receive the gift and message from the President of Nigeria. As you pray, I've listened to the President. I've read his articles. I went through his manifesto. I have seen him work and commitment to keeping his manifesto. What he does not need now is distraction. So as you pray, pray for God not to allow the president to be distracted. The president magnanimously brought trailer loads of rice, which is every state will get 1,200 bags for breaking of fast. Many cartons of Indomie, 1 trailer load for the Christian community, 1 trailer load for the Muslim community. It is very symbolic because it will be easy for God to answer our prayers if we live together and work together. And be transparent in delivering these foodstuffs to those who need it, the poor and the downtrodden, those who are not able to see what they will use to break fast. You who have 10, 15 bags of rice in your house, you don't need this rice. Give this rice to those who don't have any to eat.
Of our greedy leaders. Oh, Thunder, where are you? This is the time you are supposed to strike, so that you eliminate all of them, so that you have peace in our nation. Or join them in one aeroplane, so that it will crash land in the course of their agenda. Furthermore, our security.
11 states, 5 states in eastern Nigeria, 6 states in the Niger Delta part of Nigeria, making 11. So they got trailers of Indomie. They've got trailer for rice. They've got, God damn it, man. Damn. All of you for traveling down to Wiri, Imo State capital, to come and collect this food from Mr. God damn it, man. It is the state policy. Tinubu's renewed hope agenda, you know, better known as a renewed Shege agenda. Huh? Or more. Lofao, that's what people will say. Lofao. The criminal politicians in Nigeria, they hit jackpots. And I'm serious, right? Except something really changes. There is no politician or set of politicians on the surface of this earth that are as lucky as the Nigerian politicians. There is none. I don't think there is any. Except something really changes. So the people they are governing, the ones that would likely not get the ones that would likely not get the rise, the palliative, because I'm expecting more of such videos, you know, but I usually thought they would be given to them by state. So those of the Nigerians who can't really probably partake in this sharing of rice, I don't know how they are going to do this, okay? Because it's almost time to break fast, Abby. The Lent and then the Ramadan. Okay, so let's take a bit a quick look at the Nigerians who have been speaking out, calling out at Tinubu's regime and the cost of living crisis. Those who are already saying that after the 30 days, it is going to be a complete shutdown and shutdown, you know, of Nigeria if Tinubu's regime fail to do anything, which they won't do anything. But the stories are as touching and at the same time as, they are as touchy, as eye-opening as they are. Let's listen to a few before we continue tonight. Hashtag 30 days rant challenge. Hashtag Tinubu is a terrible president, currently on its day 6.
I was never going to say anything about this 30 days rant challenge because thinking about it, I felt like it was pouring water on a stone. Because I felt if after I come to say everything I want to say, nothing is going to come out of it. But My younger sister shared me. So I spoke to my younger sister this morning and she shared me a video. First off, she sent me a video. I was like, she can't watch TikTok in peace, that her FYP is full of 30 days rant challenge. And I was like, what did you see? And she was like, she has cried this morning. She and my mom had cried this morning. And I asked her, what did you see? And she told me she was going to share me a video on TikTok, which she did. And after watching that video, I went to our chat and I saw where she said, she asked me, do I know why she cried? And I asked her why. And she said, it's because she legit saw me in that video. I'm just 22. I know there are a lot of young people. I'm not complaining that I'm working too much or anything, but like, I'm 22. I'm studying law. I have to juggle a lot of jobs just to make ends meet. Some people think you're getting support from like a lot of people. No, support is not coming from anywhere. Like, I'm one of the persons, you know, when they say nobody's coming to save you, I'm one of those persons. Like, nobody's coming to save you. I braid, I run a shoe business, I do ushering for events, I work for events, I'm a visual assistant, I do legal writing and research. Like, I legit do like a lot of jobs just to make ends meet. Like, anywhere you can legit find like money's here, I'm there, because not necessarily for the passion anymore, but because of the necessity to meet ends meet. And you know one very funny thing about doing all this? At the end of the day, you come back tired, body aches, exhausted, and you have your books to study as a student. And at the end of the day, after all these jobs, you don't have anything to show for it. I'm on break. I can't go back home because I'm trying to cut costs. See how I can save up money, pay my rent. Rent is being increased. I have to rent is being increased. I have to think of, okay, feeding, and I'm calculating, okay, if I go back home, going back home, not like it is much better at home or anything. I'm ready to go back home because I don't want to have to like stress or bother about how things are going at home. Just trying to protect my peace, my sanity, because a lot of things are going on. But you know what? I don't even know what to say. I don't know what to say. But thank God has actually been providing and He has been helping. Because it's a lot, and I just pray God helps Nigeria, because bro, how am I supposed to bring my own child to this world? I have a younger sister who is going to school next month, and I just put together funds for her, for her studies, and I see what I'm going through as a student who has to like meet ends meet. And bro, I don't want that for my sister. I don't want her to have to go to school and start thinking that okay, she has to work. I just want her to focus on her studies. But how can I do that when almost every price of everything keeps increasing. Light, like units is so expensive. I can't even mention everything. Like, I'm so overwhelmed. After hearing my younger sister told me this morning, I just feel so bad that she has to see me work this hard at a very young age.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you see this video, I greet you specially. So, I just want to complain. See, last 2 weeks now I buy this in 9,000. I can't invest. I'll buy 9,000 for one. I can't buy 2. I wish I said, make I shake on. You know your food, not your days. I can't invest. I can't even call and say, how far? They use all the pressings. I've been already thrifted now. That's for me. They don't use remain and all that stuff. They say no, that's why they coin. So okay, no problem. I still rest. So then, this one not finish now. See, and this one I rest. When I say before I go finish, I could go back. I reach there now. They tell me say 12,000. 2 weeks they had 3,000 trying to money. When I want to kill me, now this is my life. Now they breathe. This is the air that I breathe. When I want to carry up my hand. One of the wicked like this. What do we do now for this country? See, when I say I sweat, I just see the rich now. No lights. I sweat. When I don't say I be fat person, I need breeze every time. Breeze not even the air tag. Okay, when I still breathe less, now maybe still breeze me air tag. When I say no, why not do like this? We all they suffer. Now so that I live like family woman. When I call this house now 260 I pay now they don't change that to 340 I be 360. Now push you. When I want kill us for self-contained. I want to survive as students. I beg. When I 2 weeks, what's happen? See, I beg. You better me they bomb for Cotonou. You better me they bomb for Cotonou. That me they bomb for Nigeria. If they pay me. I want to come on. They for bomb me for Serbia forest. I don't know they call that place. I don't know. They for bomb me for Ethiopia. If for better. Egypt better. It better. Togo even good self. Thank you very much and God bless you.
Holla, my sister. Oh God, man. You see, from the parts of that lady talking about her life story and all of that, you know, theory and that, to the last girl, when I started feeling, I actually feel more kind of like emotionally stressed listening to the last girl because she's got Ventolin. I've been waiting to call that thing inhaler. Baba. Hey. Everybody is complaining about food. We are hungry. Yeah, everything is expensive. We cannot eat good proteins. We cannot eat so and so. Baba, have you ever for once just imagine how the people who need medication to actually survive, like me and you. You say me and you, apart from our stomach, we go the hair cost. We do not have to worry about anything else. Okay, I have to worry about my glasses because without my glasses, I'm almost blind. That's crazy, by the way, right? I mean, they said that I've got very, very good very good eyes, right? But I'm short-sighted. I can't see what is so far away. What is far away? Anyway, so imagine if I need to change my glasses to see clearly. Because without my glasses, everything just will begin to look jumpy. You believe that? Like everything will begin to look jumpy for me. Can't really read any text too far away. But because I am here, right? I could possibly see me. I'm going to get access to get my eyes checked and all of that stuff. She gets, and I'll be given glasses too, except if I have to buy designer glasses. You know, designer glasses that I have to pay a lot. Apart from that, there are cheaper ones. But now that's my own health there, right? Without my glasses, I can't do almost like I can't do like about 50% of things. I can't drive. Or I can drive, but that would be risky. But imagine if I have to choose between food and seeing. And I know that if I don't see, I will crash my car, die. But I have to choose between going to the hospital for my eye. Okay, eye is really very much a powerful sort of organ, though. But imagine so many people who have to use inhalers. See that inhaler? Now me, I can breathe. I've not got any health issue like asthma. But when you look at people who are suffering from that, or people who are suffering from other different kind of like ailments, or and they have to pay. Have you ever thought of how they are surviving? About that Ventolin, I've waited the column. That inhaler used to be 400 naira. 400 naira. Then APC came and it turned to 800 naira, 1,400 naira, 3,000 naira. Today, that inhaler, they say the cheapest one is about 7,500 naira. Baba, imagine that you do not even have money to get your own inhaler. You will just buy it like that. If everything block, Baba, you go just like that. People don't go know what happen to you. They don't go know say, nah, just 7,500 naira. Nah, so you die. Oh. So when they tell you that people die for, if you get to know how, why some people died because of they lack 5,000 naira, they lack 10,000 naira. And some of you will be like, really? I don't believe that. Because you are saying that from the position of privilege. You are privileged. Some of us don't even understand the level of privileges that we enjoy. Because we are so used to them until a little discomfort happens. That's why, can you believe it? Can you imagine? Do you know how much they are selling? How much I have spent on electricity? How much? 150,000 naira. What kind of a country is this? Say, but it's been like that for the past 7 months. I know. But you never complained in the last 7 months. Is it because you could afford it? Yeah, but what kind of a country is this? We cannot continue like this. Oh, really? Now that you feel like... So everybody talks about food. Everybody talks about certain, all this need. But what about those people with health conditions? Do you even know how they are surviving right now? Hey? Imagine that you have to choose between food and your medication. And then you have, you still have to add to your loan, like you still have to add God's help so that you don't even go and pay that huge amount of money for fake medicine, fake drugs. This is the situation people have been subjected to. No joke. Listen to this one.
The whatever of our 30 days rant challenge, because who is actually counting? We are forgetting to say the most important thing is that Tinubu stole our mandates. Tinubu was never our choice. For the first time in my life history, I decided to come out in the 2023 presidential election to vote my candidate. But you stole our mandate, keeping us in the situation where we have to feed from hand to mouth. You guys, this Nigeria now, as we are now, this Nigeria as a whole is a lawless society. Because who is the president to declare the state of emergency without due process? I don't make it make sense. The president is now doing the work of both the executive, the legislature, and the judiciary in this country. Nobody has the right. There is a place in the constitution where they say that a sitting president can be impeached, but that law doesn't exist in Nigeria anymore. Because the president is now the lawmaker. Only him is now the lawmaker without due process. See, we are angry and we are tired. We are angry and we are tired. The average Nigeria is now the poor. When he said, let the poor move, everybody is now the poor. If you think that Nigeria is good, that means you are among the thieves that we are talking about. If you go to the market with 50,000 naira, you will not come back with anything reasonable. Just a sack bag in this economy. And you know one thing about Nigeria economy, what goes up never comes down.
That law of gravity doesn't happen in Nigeria, and it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make logical sense. Like, you people, this is getting out of hand. If you don't know what to say, just set your camera and say that the president is a terrible president. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, you are a terrible president. You were not my choice. I don't know about any other person, but I am sure that me and my household, you were never our choice. We are suffering. Even if you don't have the good heart of a president, have a good heart of a father and see that people are dying of hunger. We are suffering. Say something. Nigerians are suffering. Remi Tinubu, you're a mother. Say something. Your husband is killing us in this country. Nigerians are dying. Tinubu, your government is terrible. And your wife is there keeping quiet, supporting you, calling herself a mother. Which kind of mother does that? Which kind of mother does that? Letting the children God put in your head dying. Ah, God, take control. Let no peace for the wicked. Remi Tinubu, where are you? Nigerians are complaining and you are keeping quiet. You people are not saying anything. Tinubu, your government is terrible. If you talk, you die. If you keep quiet, you are still going to die. It's not. The whatever.
You won't need a car to travel. You won't need an aeroplane to travel. You will just say, I want to go to London. And you'll be in London. Whether you believe it or not, the time is coming when you won't need. You won't.
We will work with you to build a Nigeria that is not corrupt.
I bring you a message of hope.
We are going to spend a lot of resources on education.
Let the poor breathe. Tinubu, don't suffocate them. At least you hold them that. That's what he said a while back, remember?
Let the poor breathe. Don't suffocate them. We have that responsibility.
Responsibility. But to the Gen Z, let's leave the the emotional roller coaster and listen to the Girons, the male in their own rants. Brethren.
Do you people think we are playing here? Do you people think we are jobless? We don't have work. These 30 days rants that we're doing, do you people think now on artists they better for now we they suffer? Because I don't understand. I'm trying so much to be very, very decent and polite in this particular video. I dey boil. I saw Pella's comments as Bobby's post yesterday. Yeah, he was saying, don't force anybody to do anything. Allow people to do whatever they want to do from their hearts. Not be one person do video now. When I'll cut the talk. That means it's regarding to the comment that people are putting on his girlfriend's post. Is everything about you and your girlfriend? Is everything about you and your girlfriend? Is it because we choose to keep quiet that the whole youth of Nigeria are out there making videos that things are hard for us and you're posting car? Your manager did not deem it necessary to at least keep that particular post for now until the internet is down. The whole Nigerian youth are posting that things are hard for us in this country. He posts Somoto. Not like as if that one is enough. You are not making content. You are not joining us in the 30 days rant. Yet, you are making comments that are kind of discouraging. If your girlfriend do what is not right, you tell her that what she did is not right. We are making a rant video, not a beauty pageantry video. If you are making this video, don't do it like saying anybody they force you. Not be say before you do video, you can't do makeup, can't they talk like say, we forced you, not really concern you. You are just saying this make it be say you do them. You are just saying this make it be say, me your fans say you do them. What sort of nonsense is that? Do you think if all of us keep mouths and stay inside, hunger go kill any of us? But just that we have adjusted enough. We have adjusted enough. We keep adjusting and things keep going bad. If you can afford food, there are people that cannot afford food. There are some of your relatives that cannot afford food. You as you then away the pillar. You get some of your relatives where your money know they reach. That's if you are giving any of them. Are you people here acting so unconcerned? Maybe you unfollow any influencer or celebrity who will not join this particular.
Quick one. Tinubu, you are a disaster. Shame on you. I predicted your failure and you failed. I predicted your failure and you failed. You're a useless man. Shameless man. Look at you, a leader. Let the poor breathe. Let the poor breathe. All you are doing now is taxation. Taxation, frustrating your people. People are dying every day. Come here and see. A cleaner makes more than 5 million naira every month and pay no bills. I use 24 hours electricity. I don't pay any, I don't pay more than 20,000 naira equivalent. Shame! Shameful! You think politics is all about corruption, destroying Nigeria, destroying the future of the youth in that country. God will punish you. Thank God you are close to your grave. Look at you, old man that's supposed to mend his ways. You're supposed to mend your ways. You're supposed to mend your ways. You're a president, but you are an idiot. A blizzard. People are dying every day in Nigeria. You don't care to know. You cannot reduce cost of living. There's nothing they gain. All you do is tasking them every day. And your son, who's supposed to be advising you, become corrupt also. He cannot talk to the father. Look at you, Sheyi. You are useless. You are a disappointment to youth. You are my age. But listen, I confront my father in some issues. Dad, you can't do that. But you don't care. All you do is just to be there. I don't blame. You mustn't be corrupt like your father.
Since when I born you never seen this kind of abuse before. Tinubu, I must abuse you. Tinubu, number one, Oguokiyapa. Tinubu number two, Oguokiyama. Tinubu number three, Oguokiya your children. Tinubu number four, Ogu go bury all your family. Tinubu is a god to you. A god to you. Tinubu is a god to you. Ewausa.
Tinubu is a god to you. A god to you. Tinubu is a god to you. Ewausa. Let's go to Kogi. You've been hearing about the recall process of Natasha, the Kogi Central senator that wrote a petition accused the Senate president, which is the godless Okpebholo, of sexual harassment. And then she got suspended, where they have been doing everything to gag her. She has now embarked on international media tour. She's been to Sky, she's been to New York, she's in New York Times, Washington Post, Al Jazeera, Sky in the UK, name it. To tell the world about the sexual predator, who is also the number 3 man in Nigeria. And back home, Yeye Bello, right, has been allegedly, right, has been sponsoring the recall process of Natasha. So the Kogi white lizard, who crawled into his hole for months, running away from the EFCC. They were looking for him until it was cut a deal to come out. And you see, his own successor, his own political stooge, Olodu of Kogi, you know, his own personal assistants, I mean, a special advisor, a lady is behind the recall process of Natasha from the Senate. But because everything in that place is all messed up, they are so rotten, rottenly corrupt. You understand that? That the process of recalling a lawmaker in Nigeria is for the voters of our constituency or senatorial district to all come out and participate in signing a recall petition. So they will have to collate all these signatures. And if they can get, I think, 2/3 of the registered voters of that district to sign the recall petition, then the senator or the INEC will begin the process of recall. In fact, it's actually the INEC that will verify every signature. So these guys pulled themselves together. 2 or 3 days ago, they called the people of Kogi Central to come out for an empowerment program. When the people got there, they were asked to present their voters' cards so that they could copy their voters' card as, to say they signed the petition to recall their senator. So when people discovered this, it became a problem. So they just sort of like dispersed. But somehow, these guys just showed up yesterday. No, they showed up today with bags of papers, purportedly to have been the signatures they've collected from 250,000 people. According to them, they said their senatorial districts currently have 488,000 voters. And out of that 488,000, this Olodu of Kogi's special advisor, this lady says, he has collected 250,000 signatures. So in this video, I'm about to show you, from the beginning, I will show you how they collected the 250,000 signatures. And then the presentation of the bags of their signatures. So the thing is, for Natasha to be recalled back, INEC would need to confirm every signature, which means if you have collected 250,000 signatures, you will need to present 250,000 people who signed that forms or petition. But it is Nigeria. It is Nigeria. They don't need to follow any due process, Kokon. There is already a court order that says that Natasha's recall process should proceed. Therefore, take a look at how they are recalling a senator from Kogi. They are rigging, they are rigging the recall process for posterity's sake. The rest of the world, please watch you.
Confidence in her because of her gross misconduct in the Senate that led us to a 6-month suspension where Kogi Central will not be represented at the National Assembly. the Senate arm. So we have come to recall her back so that we can have a representative in the Senate. Because as a people, we cannot afford not to have a representative in the Senate arm for another 1 year. So we are here to tell INEC to please follow the constitutional process for our recall so that our recall process can begin. That's why we're here.
Okay, so have you submitted or?
We've submitted our petition. It's been received. All other documents have been received. This is the acknowledgement copy of the petition.
Is it the entire constituency or just a group of people? Under which platform are you representing?
Okay, it is a concerned Kogi youth and women.
Okay.
Yes.
And who is bankrolling this?
Talking about bankroll is a personal business. It's a personal thing. We are members of our constituents, and we are saying we don't want her anymore because you cannot afford not to have a representative. So nobody is bankrolling. Well, we are the one that voted her, and we are saying we don't want her anymore. So we're not. Nobody is bankrolling. Nobody is having any personal issue with her. It is just what it is. The game is the game.
Okay. When you say you come to submit petition,
yes, please.
Is it a process that maybe you have collected the signature already, or you're about to do that? What are the things you have done already?
Okay, thank you very much. We all know the INEC rules. You cannot submit a petition without having to go and get signatures of registered voters, and that's why we're now saying, as a people, we are recalling her back from the Senate because we have gotten what it takes to recall her back from the Senate.
Like how many number of registered voters?
We have 488,000 registered voters from Kogi Central, and as I speak to you right now, we have more than 250,000 voters that have signed for her recall.
Okay. So what was the response from INEC at that moment?
Like you know, INEC is an institutional body, and its constitution is binding them, and as such, they will have to follow due process. So they will get back to us and they will do their job.
Your name, ma'am?
My name is Omole Charity Jesse.
Omole Charity Jesse, a special advisor to Olodo of Kogi on youth and women development. That's her role. She is not even from the Kogi Central, from what I have gathered. She's not from the senatorial district. But she says she's got 250,000 signatures to remove Natasha. And INEC has accepted all these bags. If indeed the bags behind her, they are signatures. So there you have it. She said, in this bag lies 250,000 signatures to recall Natasha. And when you look at this picture, you will see that there is one of the guys in the video I shared with you earlier, who was also there signing the petition on behalf of the people. You know what they did? They took, the voters register for that senatorial district. So they started looking at people's names. So they are just signing their initials. If your name is Rosemary Agbede, that is R.A. They just signed Rose R. That's your signature. If your name is Mr. Johnson, okay. It's okay. Mr. J.O., that's J.O. So they signed the J.O. and they just sign in front of it by writing your name as well. That's what they were doing in that video that I shared with you earlier. In case if you are wondering, what was that? Here you get, so they will check the name and then they will write it out but they actually did a lot of work. Imagine having to write out 250,000 people from the voters register and begin to forge their signature in a video that is already online. Like that kind of crime. This must be a crime, at least. This must be crime. I mean, like criminal. And of course, it's always the poor people that kind of like do the dirty work. You know, the same poor people that are being robbed, being looted, indeed, are always the useful tool, the useful idiots that help all this kind of like, you know, illegality. They want to rig election, they call on the poor people, the poorest of the poor, to go and steal the ballot box or go and disrupt the election for the people that are coming in to mortgage the future, his own life, his own future, and that of his own children. So we are also monitoring that to see how far that goes in Kogi State. And Natasha is not slowing down as well. So which makes it more like two fighting. We'll see who blinks first, but we continue to speak out and speak up for the victims of sexual harassment, in which Natasha is one, until they prove otherwise. Our petition and our allegation against Okpebholo and the reactions of those who are Okpebholo's friends since all of this has started, shown enough that they are guilty. And she is very, very correct. The much they are doing to also possibly gaga forever and make sure she never return back to the Senate, because they probably have no idea how Okpebholo would survive watching her from the gallery. I'm just saying. That's Okpebholo's part, and Natasha and the Kogi people, and the drama that is still going to probably follow this. In Abuja, there's this community where Wike has taken over their lands, revoked all their CFO, like their land documents. And some were accused of not paying the land rent or land charges. And because of this, they've demolished their houses. So in one of the Save Our Soul, SOS videos put out there by the direct victims, I have one to share with you. From Abuja, as you have the latest number of Nigerians who have now been turned homeless by their government.
Removing their things, removing the drugs, all their food stuff. None of them could even have a sleeping at Ekpe community last night. For the fact that the Nigerian military end up disturbing us, threatening us, giving us quick notice, saying they will all kill us, they will come and demolish all our houses, including us, that we must part. It started since last week. We thought it was a joke. Every day they are here. Some weeks ago, they came and destroyed the buildings, the uncompleted building for us. Now, in our living rooms, in our sitting rooms, they all came this morning and begin to threaten us that they will shoot us if we cannot pack our properties. In fact, all members of Ekpe communities under threat. As you can see, look at, they removed their zincs. Look at the house, you can see, this is not a new house. This building has been in existence donkey years before even the creation of FCT. We are now forced to remove our team. Where do we go? We have reported this case before the government, through the area council, through our senators, members, House of Representatives, even at the office of the President of Nigeria. We don't know. Up till today, we are always told to maintain status quo. Why the Nigerian military are not law-abiding? You can see what we are facing today. We have all remained homeless. Nobody is having a place to stay. Look at our beds. You can see mattress. Look at people remaining stranded. As you can see, these are our wives remaining stranded. Where do we go today? We have nowhere to go. Please, from the level of the area council chairman to our member House of Representatives, our senator, FCT, the vice president, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Nigerian Senate Speaker, the President, we need an urgent attention because we are under threat security-wise. As we are standing, anything can happen now because the Nigerian military says they will soon engage us. They will soon engage us. Look at how the villagers, under threat, they've been generating threat into their hearts and they end up packing their properties. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my fellow Nigerian citizens, where are we going? Are we not part of Nigeria? Are we not citizens of Nigeria? This is our ancestral land. We did not move from anywhere to this place. We have been on this land. We have been here as a settlement ever before Nigerian amalgamation, not to even talk of creation of FCT. Are you telling me today that there is no law in Nigeria, that there is no constitution in Nigeria? I don't know. I always ask this question. Is Nigerian military ahead of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? Won't Mr. President grant an order to Nigerian military to quit our land? We really know, we have been saying it, we really know that any land in FCT can be used for development. But let there be consultation, dialogue, and even compensation. If it involves integration, let us be integrated. But this one, nothing like that. All of a sudden, Nigerian military are engaging us on our ancestral land. They started with our farmland. We have been reporting this from time to time, and up to now, federal government have not said anything. What happened? When it is time for politics, from the one level to the national level, people will be coming for campaign. I could remember when Buhari was saying against we, the natives of Abuja, that we did not vote for him. Now, we voted for Tinubu. And up to now, Tinubu have not said anything. In fact, it's a threat against us. It's a threat against us. I am calling on the attention of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to come and see to our problem. Let them come and render to us our help. Let them save us from the hand of the Nigerian military. This is not the only community facing the threat. It's about 22 to 24 communities involving two chiefdoms, that is Zuba Chiefdom and Jua Chiefdom, which involves Gwagwalada Area Council and Abuja Municipal Area Council.
How many times would they tell you before you know that Nigeria is not for you? Ah! Now they never leave you. They have left you behind. Photo, not be juju be that. Sorry, oh. May God not allow them, may them kill you.
I'm highly disappointed of Nigerian government because the Nigerian government were highly disappointed in them due to foreseen circumstances. Definitely, I'm one of those people are proving people should die in coronavirus is more better than people should die in hungers. Hunger kills more than coronavirus because some people are less privileged. Due to foreseen circumstances that I said it, some people are less privileged, which they are based on daily pay, which are not even based on salaries. But our government thinks that the lockdown is the best solution to coronavirus, and proving it to an extent and to the levels of alacrity that if someone die in coronavirus, it's more efficient to die in hunger, because some people will be at indoor. There's no a way to make our own life.
God bless you, Prof. The indigenous people of Abuja have suffered so greatly because of this existence of this one Nigeria. The Baggy people and other chiefdoms like that guy postulated, their lands have been forcefully taken No real compensation given to them. They are like not in any way part and parcel of this arrangement of this one Nigeria, you will say. They are not even like legally or constitutionally recognized, because that has been taken away from them now. Remember, the special status for Abuja, FCT in your election has been destroyed by this Tinubu's legitimate regime. So right now, their land, their everything is going into extinction. It is. They don't even have the power to elect one of them to represent them at the Nigerian seat of power. They don't. That's how bad it is. And almost every now and then, they call them settlers. But they call them settlers. So indigenous people of Abuja, when they are displacing them, they will say, oh, they just came here from somewhere and took over the land. All their documents, landed documents issued to them by different successive governments are being revoked by Wiki and his gang. And compensating them is just at his own discretion if he feels like it. If he's in good mood, then he will think of, okay, let's compensate them. If he's not, well, you can just pack your thing and find somewhere else to go. Women, children, again, have been the major victims of all of this. No thanks to APC. Anyway, as always. In Abia State, right, the governor, dear governor, Alex Otti, was, reported to have visited the Abia State University, it's called, and he was so surprised at the level of degradation, dilapidation, and the squalor in which people are actually living in. Students, he was surprised that, really, people live here. So yeah, this is where we live. And this is not prison, right? Even prison, people shouldn't be living in, like, no, nobody should be living in this place, even if it was a prison. Have you seen the student hostels of some of these schools in Nigeria? Watch this.
I will give you about 3 months to build a functional cafeteria. You'll be inherited from. So you must solve it. I'm here to help you solve it. Just want to study, where do you go? And there's no light, right? So do you like this journey? I'm so embarrassed. This is not a condition that is conducive for you to learn. And then, of course, you are aware that we are relocating both Faculty of Law and Faculty of Agriculture here. We are just coming from the Faculty of Law, and the building is dilapidated. We'll pull it down and build a new one. We'll also build one for agriculture, so that all of you will be here. Work will start in the next 1 week. So if you build a habitable hostel, there must be light, there must be water. And there's no light, right? So do you like this journey? I'm so embarrassed. This is not a condition that is conducive for you to learn. And then, of course, you are aware that
when you see images like that, just imagine thousands, should I say hundreds of images like that coming from the Nigerian universities, College of Education, secondary schools. Like, you need to see the geometry, you need to see where they are supposed to be raising the future leaders of Nigeria. And then you get all the answers you probably have been looking for. Why is this contraption what it is? And you see where people are living. Environments that are never livable, should never be habitable or conducive for any human habitation at all. These are the lives they've mentally, psychologically subjected the people to, so that when they get to enjoy a little bit of luxury or the normalcy, it becomes luxury. When they have access to a little bit of normalcy, then it becomes a luxury and say, oh, when you see the house, have you seen our new, because people have been subjected to for far too long that they consider every basic thing that they possibly, would enjoy to a luxury. That's why you see them, they say, this one has turned to small London. Once they complete 1 kilometer or 2 kilometer road in their area, you see them say, Atibadan turned to small London. Oh. If you come to Shomolu now, Shomolu be like small London. Why? Because they've come to fix the potholes, right? They've come to pack the drainages. Do you understand? And the people themselves will be so happy that they will say, now they feel like they are in London. They no go better for Nigerian politicians. They managed to socially program millions of us to exact zombies that they want us to be. And so that's why I said they're like eating a jackpot. There is a controversial video online. I'm going to share it with you tonight. I had to join it last night. Okay, so tonight, there is this man in Oshodi. Oshodi is also not, I'm a word of me and Oshodi. Which one is, what is Oshodi? What do you call the next local government to Oshodi, by the way? Anyway, so he's called the Obi of Oshodi. Is kind of, because I started digging, right? It's kind of like famous on TikTok, social media generally. So an Obi, and you know the habit, or let's say the attitude of the Ronokus, whenever they found that there is an Igbo cultural king in Lagos. So they said this guy has been, he has been helping the supposed tout thugs in their community. So many of them who have become they have become criminals, locked up for different crimes, but he's been using his own resources to free them, rehabilitate them. And when I say rehabilitate them, set them on the right path. But the video was actually posted by Juronukus to steer what is called a tribal hate against the Igbos. I'm saying this positive part that until the APC Ekbekebe came to propagate their bigotry, their tribal hatred and all of that, all because of a Tifnumbu, this never was a thing. If you go to any part of Nigeria, so to say, right, you get to see people nominate their own representatives for their community in that state and all that. We have the Yoruba community, even in Abia, as well as across the eastern part of Nigeria. So it wasn't a big thing, so to say, until this APC Ekbekebe came. But the good side is why I'm sharing this video right now. Somewhere in Oshodi, brethren.
Medium, see the prison here. We are just coming out from the prison. Yes. This is the prison. This is the prison. So we release 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We release 10 people today from Kirikiri Medium Prison, Lagos. And we are 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. We released 12 people today from Kirikiri Medium Prison. We are taking them now to our palace to register them.
after the registration, we now give them money, give them food, and look for a way to look for something big for them, so that they will not commit that offense. I greet all of you. What happened today?
It's a miracle, and I'm very, very surprised because I don't believe I'm going to be out from that prison, from that place. But suddenly I heard my name, Prince Solomon, for discharge. I was not like, for discharge. So I now followed the guy to the gate. So I now saw you. So I was surprised. People were now saying, they want to release us. I said, serious? As I now hear our name, let us sit down. I don't even believe till the time we crossed the gate. As we crossed the gate, I was very, very surprised.
So you didn't know that I will release you from prison today?
Yes, sir.
If you know that thing that make you to go to prison, don't do it next time.
Okay, sir.
Eh?
Yes, sir.
Work hard. My God will bless you.
Yes, sir.
You will survive in this fight.
Yes, sir.
Number 6.
Sir. Igwe.
What is your name?
Rocky Olamilekon, sir.
Huh?
Rocky Olamilekon.
Rocky?
Rocky Olamilekon.
Rocky Olamilekon?
Yes, sir.
What is your address?
Terminal 1, Oshodi Road.
Terminal 1?
Yes.
Oshodi?
Yes, sir.
Lagos?
Yes.
What is your phone number?
07 47 42 0491.
Which tribe are you?
Abuja.
Which state are you from?
Ogun State.
Ogun State?
Yes, sir.
Which prison you come out from?
Medium, Kirikiri, sir.
Lagos?
Yes, sir.
How old are you?
I'm 22 years, sir.
22 years. What happened today?
I really surprised, sir. I don't know, say I will come out today. The church where I go, sir, I still dey pray, say, may God send me free. I don't know, say the person where he go bail me, sir, he don't dey come.
So, so as at this morning, you didn't know that I will release you today?
No, I don't go church.
You go church today? Now today you pray the prayer.
Yes, sir.
And God used me to answer your prayer today. It shall be well with you. Yeah? If you know that thing will make you to enter prison, don't do understand. Yeah? Do your normal work. You will survive in this life.
You say Igwe. So the Ronukus that put out that video, they wanted to use it to steer their usual tribal AIDS debates. But I kind of like saw in that, before I brought that to you, right? Like, saw something like, that's some goodwill, right? You know, when you go to prison and you pay up the fines of the inmates who have been locked up because of fines that they were unable to pay. Because releasing them from prison is not that you had to go to, to court for them. These are just people picked up, young people, right? Who couldn't pay for their own bail, and they get locked up in maximum prison, Kirikiri. And somebody came and he paid off your bail bond. Then you get released. That's what happened there. That's a good thing. And for these young people who got a second chance at least, yeah, it's advice for them not to, return to prison for the same reason that they were locked up in the first place. Good stuff. For APC, Ebekebe has sort of like created so much toxicity in the system, right? That the only thing that gets everybody's attention these days is hatred. And if you can perpetuate it, if you can propagate it from all sides, right, you are likely going to get the attention of your lives. Not a good deed in that way, And then again, this one is from Bright Edafe, Bright. Maybe he's bright now. He's raising an awareness on a young man that he claimed to have been wandering about in Delta State without his family. So Bright is calling out on the, the would-be family of this young man if they get to see this video. And in his usual comical, unprofessional way of asking questions from his interviewees, right? Here is that one. Please watch.
I'm SP Dafebright, and this is Delta State Police Command. We are presently at GRA Police Station in Asaba. Here with me is a young man that needs your help. And please, I want to appeal as much as you can, please retweet this video, repost this video, share this video, so that either his family or his extended family can see, identify, and come and pick him. This boy has been living alone for the past 7 years and some months. How old were you then?
I was 9 years old.
Since he was 9 years old, that is when he had gone missing, while he was trying to locate his house where the parents are. According to him, was it your father or your stepfather?
My dad.
According to him, his dad threw a knife at him and cut his hand and also gave him another injury. Passers-by who saw him bleeding took him to the nearest hospital where he was admitted for over 3 months. Nobody was coming. According to him, well-wishers paid some of his medical bills, after which he found his way out of the hospital. While he was trying to locate his home, he missed his way, and he has been wandering about for the past 7 years. On a fateful day, he came to the headquarters and told us that he's tired of wandering, that he wants to be reunited with his family, that we should please help him. On that premise, the DPO GRA was told to come and carry him to see what we can do for him. So today I'm here so that he can tell the world his story and call out his family members wherever they are. I pray they see this video and come to his rescue. What is your name?
My name is Ogenerukewe Oviewanogo.
Ogenerukewe Oviewanogo.
Yes.
Okay. Your house, before this incident, where will they stay?
We stay in Sapele.
Sapele town, yes, in Delta State here.
Yes.
Okay, so on that fateful day, what happened? How many years ago did this thing happen?
It happened 7 years ago.
7 years ago. Okay, I just explain what happened that made them take you to the hospital before you went missing.
I just came back from school. My mom came to come and pick me in school. It was supposed to my dad.
You'll be very brief with you. I was just working with 5 minutes, okay? So just be very fast, eh?
So in the home, my dad just burst into the kitchen and I think he was drunk. He was not himself.
Okay.
So he used knife. He was chasing me and my mom all around. He used knife to cut my hand.
Okay, no problem. I don't want us to dwell too much on that because the goal is for your parents to see you now. Okay? So after the attack that you sustained this injury in your hand and here, you said well-wishers took you to the hospital.
Yes.
The hospital was in Sapele?
Yes.
Okay. So how many months did you stay in the hospital?
3 months.
While you were in the hospital, your mom and your father did not come for you, or they didn't know you were there?
They know that I'm there.
But why didn't they come for you now?
I did not know because it was the nurse helping me in the hospital.
Okay. So when you came out, you say you tried to go home.
Yes.
You could not locate your home again.
Yes.
Why? But after that time, how old were you then?
9 years.
9 years. 9 years. Okay, it is well. So now, after 3 months, you said you now left the hospital trying to locate the house. And that was that. So how did you from Sapele came to Asaba?
From Sapele in the midnight, trailers that usually pack people to travel. They take me along with them to Benin State. So
Benin City?
Yes, I grew up in Benin.
Okay, you have been living in Benin?
Yes, on the streets.
Okay. Pause. What school were you attending then in Sapele?
Heritage School.
Heritage School?
Yes.
In Sapele?
Yes, sir.
Please, Heritage School in Sapele, I believe some of the teachers there will still recognize him. He said he was at Heritage School in Sapele about when he was 9 years old. That's about 7 years ago. So that you're about 16 years now.
Yes.
Okay. Heritage School, Sapele. What's your father's name?
I don't know his name, but I know his surname.
What's his surname?
Oviewanogo.
Oviewanogo. He's from where?
From Delta State.
Where in Delta?
Sapele.
Okay, you are very sure he's from Sapele?
Yes.
Okay, he said his father's name is Oviewanogo. I think from the family of Oviewanogo in Sapele. I hope he is remembering it correctly. What is your mother's name?
Caroline
Caroline who?
Viwanogo.
That's your father's name now. You don't know our own father's name.
Caroline is my mother's name.
I know.
I know her by that.
Okay, you don't know her family name.
Yes.
Okay, but you know when she married your dad, she started bearing your father's name. Okay, so Mrs. Caroline Oviewanogo or any person related to her, please, this is your child there. Your name is
Ogenerukewe
Oviewanogo. Is presently in Asaba, GROA police station. Please, you can locate him. If you want to confirm via phone, he also said his father.
And we are competing with armed robbers and the bandits to recruit from the youths who are unemployed. 33% unemployed. Recruit 50 million youths into the army and the other thing. Take away from their recruitment source. What they will eat? Cassava, àgbàdo, corn in the morning, yam in the afternoon. It's growing here. You create demand and consumption. For over 5 million army of boot camps. We create our food. That's money for the farmers. That's consumption for the soldiers and skill development. Don't call them illiterate. Don't talk about illiteracy. Anybody who can own gun, who can handle gun, who can cock gun and clean the chamber and cock and shoot is technically competent to repair a tractor in the farm.
The transmission line is a super highway. For generated electricity and power. They could not even make a down payment for a roasted corn. That
Mr. Oviewanogo, if you by any chance come across this video or the family of Mr. Oviewanogo, you've got a 16-year-old son who has been missing since he was 9, and this was 6 years ago, according to him. He is currently with Bright, still Bright, in Delta. On that notice, where we're going to draw the curtain this evening, and I think we should take calls, okay? And we will. I'm going to go on a short break first, okay? And when I come back, yeah, we'll take calls, and then that will be your reactions. But if you have to leave, right, you have to go. Remember that you need to like this broadcast, okay? Like it, share it, and even subscribe to my channel too, if you haven't, on YouTube. So last night I started a mini fundraiser to, see if I could have my equipment upgrade, new camera, drone, and a few other equipments that I am intending to put up in the studio. So I launched a GoFundMe yesterday, and so many of you who are kind-hearted enough have actually opened it up. So tonight, again, I am going to put that up. There is a link within the description of this video if you can use any of them, including the BTC. Anyway, so for the GoFundMe link, it will be in the comments. Okay, so and when I come back, I shall be giving you the updates of how much have I gotten so far. Well, £110. And that's like 1% of the £10,000, which is the goal, right? So that's something. It has started. So, like I said, donation is pretty much like a voluntary, by the way. So if you feel, like you would want to chip in and to support, the link is right there, okay? I will be back in a minute or two, right? I'll be back in a minute or two, and then we can take calls. And if you want to call in, the number to call is right on the screen as well. Use it. I'll see you in a minute. Anyway, thank you very much, brethren. Again, I don't know if you are having any issue with the line. I've been trying to sort that. It seems like, it is currently bouncing back the calling. So I'm going to give it a few more minutes before I conclude if we are going to have it or not, okay? So, and I mean, if we can continue, that simply means that my fundraiser would also have to wait till tomorrow as well. Okay. So I don't know what happened. The line seems to be acting up, and we probably won't be having the chance of taking calls. You see, it can be very, it can be a little bit tough or hard. Sometimes when I have to discover in the middle of the program that one segment is not going to really happen, when I should have decided it from the get-go. So, brethren, I'm going to apologize to us concerning the phone in tonight. It's not really picking. So I'm going to have to call it a night, even though I wouldn't mind taking you on another hour drive, like another hour run. But don't worry, let's call it a night. So I want to say a big thank you again to every one of you that turned up this evening. And those of you who have indeed, right, shared and liked this broadcast as instructed or splitted. So thank you so much Enjoy the rest of your evening. Hang on. Enjoy the rest of your evening. And I'm going to see you again tomorrow. Good night.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun làwa mọ̀ làmọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun ti dé o ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Lórí Facebook lórí YouTube.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Gbogbo bó ṣe ń lọ ni Mayegun já wa sí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àṣírí ọ̀jẹ̀lú kì í bò níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Bó bá ṣe eré àní Mayegun máa wí.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Ó sì tún ṣe eré wàá gbọ́ níbẹ̀ o.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Mayegun Diary politico.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Godfatherism kò sí lọ́rọ̀ Mayegun.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Ẹ farabalẹ̀ sẹ́ o kẹgọ́rọ̀ lẹ́nu.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àní Mayegun làwa mọ̀ tó dòdòdò.
Mayegun Diary Nayibi #1.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé. Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí Facebook.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Lórí YouTube.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bọ́ bàbá gbé wúrẹ́.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ijó ìgbádìyẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bí pẹ̀sìdó bá rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Bí gómìnà kówó jẹ.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọlọ́pàá ti ń darí bá.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Aṣòfin ti ń rúfin o.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Òpùrọ́ olóṣèlú.
Mayegun máa wí.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Àní ẹ̀sùn ràkì.
Mayegun ti dé.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe. Ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe. Ọmọ bá dèrò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀. Mayegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò fẹ́ bẹ̀. Oníkan ṣáàtì ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe. Fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o.
Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Mayegun ti dé. Gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀sùn ràkì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe. Ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n wọ́n níran.
Ha! Kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Kì máa yí ṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣẹ̀fẹ̀. Ẹni bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.
Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Máyégún ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́run ṣọ́ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́bẹ̀. Èèpo ọ̀gọ̀ lọmọ bá dérò tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ ó ti jọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ bùyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàmù. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ túnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n níran o.
Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Máyégún ti dé gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ ò ní fi wọ́n níran.